Okay, good afternoon from Accra, Ghana, and thanks for the privilege to be part of your fellowship once more. And it's been an honor to always be part of this program. Okay, so I've shared the slide so you can let the fellows have it.
All right, sure.
So today we'll be having a discussion on the various ways that you can engage in the internet governance ecosystem. It's going to be very interactive, so please get ready for questions and answers, and also get your questions ready for me. You can interrupt me when you think you need to ask a question. I'm ready for you. So to start with, I want to thank Levy for inviting me once again. It is always Zambia meets Ghana, and it's a privilege to have him as one of my partners in the ecosystem. He's young and he's been a very big inspiration to me, and I'm hoping a lot more of people will learn from him and also start big initiatives he is doing. So let's give him some applause for that he's doing for the community. And this guy was taken in Ghana when he came to participate in the ZambiaSIG fellowship last year, right? So my profile Internet Governance Foundation for Africa. Levy, two people are waiting to be admitted. Okay, so I'm the founder and president of e-governance, the founder of ZambiaSIG. I am a proud ICANN fellow, but when it comes to this, Levy is my senior because I have been a fellow once, and Levy, I think, twice already. And I am an at-large ambassador. Let me blow my own horn. I think I'm the only one so far in Ghana, and I'm very ISOC and the global. And I was the African representative to the ALAC in 2023, and I was also a member of the ISOC Global NOM. So the NOMCOM is the nation that does the vetting and the election. ISOC Global Board is handled world. So I was part of that last year. I have a flow with the fellows. So take turns and who is here. And also, Levy, please coordinate it for me. I want to know the fellows. Sorry, I dropped off. I was asking if we can have introduction of the fellows. Levy.
So I think we'll have each one introduce themselves.
So introduce yourself, and you also mentioned the stakeholder you belong to. I think somebody is speaking, but the mic is muted.
Good afternoon. My name is
Good afternoon.
I'm from civil society. I work as an advocacy officer under the USAID Open Spaces Zambia project. And I don't know if that's all about the introduction or I'm supposed to give a bit more information. But the stakeholder group I identify with is civil society.
Sure, that's it. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Next person. Who is next?
Good afternoon. My name is Angela. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Angela Ngulube, and I'm the programs officer on the Open Spaces Zambia project under Bloggers of Zambia. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mwanga Shepherd.
Yes, please, you can continue.
I do computer studies and mathematics.
Yes, please, Stephen. Please, Stephen. Shepherd.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay. My name is Gerald Sikazwe, and I'm in the civil society space. I work as a communications officer for a youth-focused organization. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good
Next
afternoon.
person.
My name is Dennis Tambo. The stakeholder group I identify myself is the student populace. Thank you very much.
Which stakeholder? I didn't get it. Levy, I didn't get Dennis stakeholder he belongs to.
Oh, sorry. The stakeholder group I identify myself is the student populace or students.
Levy, please type that for me. I couldn't get him. So next person. Who is next? Are we done? I think Edward, you are trying to speak, but I couldn't hear you.
Okay. So my name is Mwangala Edward Simuma. I work as a teacher. I teach computer studies.
I cannot hear him. If you can type for me. I want to know your stakeholder group you belong to.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name's Nyama Jodaida Mutondo. Yes, I am with private sector. Wait,
Okay, thank you.
You can They did? Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yes, anyone else?
My name is Banda Iwell. I'm a software developer from the ICT sector.
Okay, and your stakeholder?
I identify with ISOC and just a general ICT society in Zambia. I'm a software engineer.
Thank you. Next person. Let me add it down.
Yes, that's all. That's that.
Okay, thank you very much. And with the normally I try to do this exercise to identify if they have taken their courses well in the ICANN learn. And I think last year people did better than this year because last year they were able to really identify the stakeholder groups better. So I have another follow-up question. What is the difference between multi-stakeholder and multilateral internet governance? And then which stakeholder group is arguably the largest? So since we have 7 people, I'll share it. Nyambe Jere, you take question 1. Benda, you take question 1. Jedida, you take question 1. Edward, question 2. Dennis, question 2. Gerald, question 2. And Angela, question 1. So just 1 minute, you give me the answers. What is the difference between multi-stakeholder and multilateral internet governance? And which stakeholder is arguably the largest? So if you are ready, anyone among the groups that I've mentioned can speak for the group. So Nyambe, you are for question 1. Angela, question 1. Benda, question 1. And Jedida, question 1. Edward, question 2. Dennis, question 2. And Gerald, question 2. Are you ready? If they are ready, they can speak.
Audible enough.
Yes, please. Jedida, you are for question 1. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, yes. So in the difference between multi-stakeholder and multilateral internet governance is for multi-stakeholder, we have different independent players involved in internet governance, while as for multilateral, we have different but interconnected players in internet governance. I'm not too sure if that makes sense. So an example would be in the situation with multi-stakeholder internet governance, yes, we would have the government, which is in charge partly with regulations in countries, and then you would have IT companies that create the software or the equipment that contributes to the infrastructure for the internet, and then you would have clients who subscribe to those services that are being provided by the internet service providers. And then in multilateral, the picture that comes to mind is maybe the way you'd have ICANN, and I'm sorry if I get the acronyms wrong. Yes, so you have ICANN, ITTC, I think. But basically, you have these players whose role is similar in terms of looking at how the internet governance runs. Yes, so that's my understanding. You will let me know if I'm wrong.
Okay. And the second question.
Oh, sorry. You want me to answer the second question?
So question 2, the members are Dennis, Edward, Gerald. Any attempt on question 2?
For question 2, arguably the largest group will have to be the multi-stakeholder group, in that it comprises different groupings of people, of course, that may come from different countries, but representing different interests as well. Like how my colleague earlier defined the differences.
Let me clarify. The question 2
multilateral.
The question 2 is not. The question 2 is not related to the question 1. The question 2 is on its own.
I can barely get.
So you are not to choose between multi-stakeholder and the multilateral. Which one is the largest? No, it's a guess, and then from there you tell me which one is the main differences between multi-stakeholder and multilateral internet governance, which is a question on its own. Then question 2, which stakeholder group is arguably the largest? It is not related to question 1, so I'm not asking them to choose between multilateral and multi-stakeholder. So the question 2 is on its own.
Okay, I would say then the answer is the end users. Yeah, the end users are arguably the largest.
Why do you say so?
Why do I say so? Because at the end of the day, we don't have a majority of end users who are either technologists and so on and so forth, but we have everybody else in the end user set. So it's like this is where everybody meets. Those that are technologists, those that are policymakers in the internet governance, those that are businessmen, those that are in civil society. All of us, we come and meet at the end user point. That is why I say so.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's the correct answer. Everybody is first an internet end user before branching. The multilateral, the various sect groups of people who come together to formulate policies the multi-stakeholder, various sectors come together to form the policies for the internet governance. However, the multilateral is concerned about mainly between government and government. So that's the main difference. Whilst multi-stakeholder involves everybody else, the multilateral mainly is interested in the government to government. And if I don't think any of you is part of the government, if I should ask you why, they will tell you that this should be the reason why the government should also have their own say. So that is the main difference. Now, we go for our discussion this afternoon. And the question is, what is the meaning of the last mile? What is the meaning of the last mile? Can I be heard?
Yeah, very audible, right?
So what is the meaning of what is the meaning of the last mile in? Do a quick check in 30 seconds, and anyone who thinks he or she understands can tell me what is the meaning of the last mile in IT. The one who says is working in I think Banda.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, is on your profile as working in the Banda. What is the meaning of the last mile in IT?
So the last mile, from my understanding from the field work, is the end point of the telecommunication channel. For example, in a fiber network, the last mile would be before the fiber reaches the destination user, in between from the origin to where the user is seated. That would be the last mile. So basically, just the last.
So explain it again.
The last.
Explain it again.
Okay, so I can say the last mile is the end point of how can I put it? The end point of a channel in say telecommunications.
I want to hear something again. You mentioned something very important. I want to hear that side again.
The end point in the telecommunication channel.
To where?
To where the user is, from where the information or where the service provider is.
Okay, so as he rightly said, the last mile is the channel between all the network connections, all the cables to where the user. So for instance, if you are connecting a cable from anywhere to your home, the last mile is at the point that at that point, that is one of the most expensive and most frustrating part of the connection. So they can lay all the cables from whichever place that is they have started from. However, getting to the user's endpoint is one of the most challenging aspects. And all the courses in internet governance, you have done a lot of the courses. And this is the point where we are going to learn how to connect into the ecosystem. So we have done all the studies, but at this point, we are at the last mile, now going to connect into the ecosystem. That is why I brought in this one, so that we can have a practical exposure. And as I mentioned already, it is claimed that the last mile is the most expensive aspect, the internet connection. So in the same vein, our engagement in the internet governance ecosystem, after doing all the courses, you are coming to start the most important or the most challenging aspect of your engagement. So prepare and let's see how and by which various means you can engage in the ecosystem. Now, these are some of the things we always say if you say engage in the ecosystem, and that is Levy again and one of the other ladies. Levy, when he came to Ghana, he was the course rep, the fellowship rep for the ZambiaSIG fellowship. And he has been the first foreigner to be the fellowship rep. And in ZambiaSIG, once you're a fellowship rep, you're a fellowship rep forever. So if we are even coming for election next year for the executives of ZambiaSIG, he can contest. The current vice president of ZambiaSIG Fellows Executive Committee is from Benin. So if he is interested, he could also contest for next year. So if you say engagement, one, the first thing we mean is attend meetings. So you attend the meetings of the various constituencies that you have chosen to engage with. So if you have decided to engage with ICANN, you have to be able to attend various meetings of ICANN. If you chose to deal with iStock, you have to attend their meetings and join also the working groups. The working groups in our local parlance is what we call the committees. So in ICANN, or the internet governance ecosystem, we call it working groups. So you must also join some of the working groups. We'll be looking at some of them. And of course, take up leadership roles. It's important to take up leadership roles and participate in policy formulations. And don't forget to volunteer. It is also important to volunteer. We'll see why then. So why is there ecosystem? One of the first things that I always mention is whether you engage or not. As an internet end user, the policy will tend to have an impact on you. So if you sit down unconcerned and policies are made, bear in mind that it will have impact on you. So it is better to be part of that policy formulation rather than to sit idle and let that policy come to have impact. So for instance, presently, there's an ongoing discussion how domain transfers can be done. So if you have a domain and you want to transfer it from the registrant, which I guess should be Levy wants to transfer this to this policy is controlling the policy dimension, the domain transfer policy is controlling this one. So you should be able to participate in order to make sure that some of these policies you're able to engage in them so that you may not sit idle and come to affect. The next one is the next latest. The internet is really evolving, and of course we need the next people who will take up the leadership role. So what Levy is doing now, building capacity for everyone, soon or in the near future, he wouldn't have all the energy to do it again. That's the need for us to have the next leaders who take up where somebody else has also started. So it is important for you to. Then the internet is for all of us. Nobody owns the internet. All of us play roles in it. Hence the need for you to engage in it. Then lastly, we all have you cannot sit idle and say you don't have a place that you think you are fit in. So you will not engage in internet governance. Everybody has somewhere that they can. And it is also important because experience matters. I mentioned ISOC Global Nomination Committee, and I did show an example for requirements. You will see that it is written, previous experience on a non-com or elections committee will be an advantage. Previous experience on a non-com or election committee will be an advantage. So if you don't, so for instance, if within ISOC Zambia, you want to do election, they put up a committee to be in charge of that election. And if you have been a member of the ISOC Zambia election committee, hence you have that experience that they have. Let's look at some of my experience that I used. The first one, I was part of the GNSO selection committee. From there, I moved to the Afrinic nomination committee. From there, I was a rep of the ILAC, or at large, for the Community Excellence Award panel on 2 consecutive times. So I used all this experience to told the ISOC people that I have this experience. That was how come I was selected for the ISOC Global Nomination Committee. So if you don't start small, there's no way you are going to gain the very necessary experience that will be required in the ladder of the internet governance. Hence the need for you to think well and start your engagement. And it is advisable for you to start now. So let's look at some of the constituencies that we could engage in. The first one is ICANN. And ICANN is a multi-stakeholder entity which has room for everyone to belong to. And some of the constituencies, we have the business constituency, we have the generic name supporting constituencies, we have the advisory committees, CNS, so that is the country code name supporting organization, operators, we have the ISPs and various others. So depending, even for the lawyers, so depending on your background and your interest, you can choose which of these stakeholders that you want to engage in. So Levi, please, have you shared the slide with them so we can start with the practical?
Just in a minute.
So the first thing we'll be doing now is, so I've told Levi to let all of you have a specific email that you'll be using to subscribe this mailing list. So within the ecosystem, the internet governance ecosystem, most or almost all of the activities are done within a mailing list. So you have to subscribe to the various mailing lists in order to have an engagement. So if they form a working group or a working party to join this working group mailing list, that is what makes you a member. So be subscribing to some of these working groups, some of these alert and some of the major constituencies that we need to engage in. So the first thing that I want us to do is to subscribe to the ICANN alerts and announcements mailing list. So subscribe to that one. So any alert that comes, you should be able to easily get it and know what is currently ongoing within ICANN. To get a dedicated email which doesn't have a lot of spams, so that when some of these emails come, you'll not miss it. So I've alerted Levi to tell you in advance to get some of these emails that you'll be using. So if you have the slide, you click on the subscribe to ICANN alert, you see we list it. So you click on the list and I'll show you how to subscribe. Are we all there?
Still loading, just a moment.
So I dropped the link in the chat. Please let me know if you are there. Levi, how many more minutes do I have?
You have about 30 minutes.
So please, are we on this page?
Yes.
List for ICANN, and for you to subscribe, please choose the language that you are with. So if you are an English speaker, you choose and you move to the EMEA one, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So you choose that one. So because this region is made up of several languages, if you speak any other language, you can choose any of the other languages that you speak in addition to. From there, you enter your email here and you click on the by subscribing, then you subscribe. Please, has anyone done it? Angela, have you done it?
Yes, I have.
Panda, okay, Panda, have you done it? I think you wanted to speak.
Yes, I've done it.
Oh, has it gone through?
Yes, it has gone through.
Okay, good. So once somebody has done it, that is fine to continue. So from there, we move to the next. Then we have the at large. So at large is the constituency or the community that has the end users. So this is the community that the end users operate in. So within the at large, we have the regional at large organizations, which we call the RALOs. So among at large, which is the community or the constituency, the end users, we have below that we have the RALOs, which are the 5 regions of at large within the ICANN. And each of these regional groupings are called the RALOs. So within the RALOs, we have the at-large organizations or at-large structures, which is the ALS. So as an ALS you represent your community. So for instance, ISOC Zambia is an ALS. So once you are a member of this ALS, you automatically don't need to apply again before you become a member of the Africa Regional Organization. So it's an automatic membership for you. So that is how it works. And in Ghana, also we have the ISOC Ghana and EGICFA, which are part of ALSs. Do we understand this one? So in case you go and hear about, so now we'll look at the 5 RALOs. As I mentioned, the 5 regional organizations. So the 5 RALOs are the Africa Regional at-Large Organization, AFRALO. We have the Asian one, which is called the APRALO. You have the Europe one, which is called EURALO. You have the Latin American Caribbean, which is the LACRALO. And we have the North America one, which is the NARALO. So let's see a bit about the AFRALO. So you click on AFRALO and it takes you to the AFRALO page. If you want to know about the APRALO, you click on the APRALO where the color is highlighted. So if you click on the link, it's there, it will take you there. So let's look at the AFRALO. So Africa Regional At-Large Organization. So this is AFRALO, and all you want to know about AFRALO is here. If you want to see the various ALSs, you go to the left and click on it. It gives you the AFRALO ALSs. So all the information that you need to know is here. It's on the AFRALO. And you can see EGICFA, our page is here. So you go to the AFRALO page and you'll be able to see all information that you want. Please, is anyone able to go to the AFRALO page? Jared, have you been able to go? Okay.
Yes.
Dennis, have you gone there? Were you able to go?
Yes, I'm able to go as well.
Okay. So after the session, you can explore more of the AFRALO. Then how do you become an at-large member? I've explained it already. So you join an accredited at-large structure. So if you don't want to be part of the ISOC Zambia, unfortunately, ISOC Zambia is the only, or fortunately, ISOC Zambia is the only accredited ALS in Zambia. So you must join the ISOC Zambia to become a member of or become an ALS so that you can use that to engage in that. And becoming an ALS comes with some examples, benefit because you'll be able to participate in election, choose the next leaders in the region that you belong to, or you can become an individual member, the at-large regional grouping that you belong. And if you want to know more about the ALS application, you can click on the go here and it will take you to how to become a member of the at-large, how to apply to become an ALS. However, Levy has already done all the footwork for you. So all you need to do at this stage is just to relax, join the AFRALO. Presently, the AFRALO mailing list is not working, so we'll not be able to join that one today. But once it comes up, we'll let you have. So Levy has done the footwork for you just to relax and join AFRALO and start engagement through AFRALO through the ISOC Zambia chapter. So there are other mailing lists that you can also join, at-large mailing lists that you can also join. And who can tell me what constituency the at-large constituency represent? Who are the people at-large constituency represent? Which constituency does the at-large? Who are the people that they represent?
Oh, sorry. Am I audible? Okay,
yes, please.
Okay. I think it's ICANN.
Which group of people do they represent?
Like specific stakeholders. I'm sorry.
The end users. So the at-large, they represent the end users. Thank you. So
users?
if you want to see yes, please go ahead. Yes, end users.
The end users that are represented? I honestly don't want to lie. I don't know.
No problem. So at-large internet users. So that's what it means. So anytime you hear me saying at-large, please bear in mind that we are talking about internet end users, everybody who uses the internet. So these are the other mailing lists that you can join for the sake of time. I'll just brush you through so that you can. So you have the at-large worldwide. So you click on the subscribe, then to take you through the various instructions. Then the ALAC mailing list. I also encourage you to join the ALAC mailing list. Then this is currently not working. I've tried it several times today. It wasn't coming, so we can continue. Maybe it will come later. Then we have the working groups. Here is the very important one. Here are the working groups for you to. I will encourage you to join. Please join any of these work. Most especially the one I will encourage you to join. Not all of them are presently working, but I will encourage you to join the social media working group, the one I've just highlighted. That is the first 3 from the social media working group. I will encourage you to join those 2 and any other one that you think are of interest to you. However, please bear in mind, not all of them are currently working. Where you see, so if you click it, you click the subscribe, it must give you the window for you and with the instructions for you to join. However, presently, I think most of them are not, so we'll move on with the rest. So the working groups to join, as I've already demonstrated, you can click on the series of the working groups, which is, if you see the join at the top, it will take you to that one. I want us to quickly rush to the GNS. So the NCSG, this is one of the sessions that I want us to take. Stakeholder group is also one of the groupings that represents end users. So it is in two ways, end users, and so you can join as an individual end user or as an organization, a rep of an organization. So the purpose of the NCS is to represent interest of non-commercial registrants and users. So the NCSG has two groupings under it, which is the NCU of the NCU for strictly individual end users and organizational reps. However, for MPOC, it is strictly for organizational reps only. If you are not an organization, you cannot join MPOC as an individual. So we'll be joining the NCUC now. So as I mentioned already, you can join as an individual member or as an organization. So please click on the join. We are 6 or 7. So even if half of you, 3, are able to do this exercise, I'll be very fulfilled so that you can also help your other colleagues to also join. So we'll be applying to join the NCSG. And who can tell me once more who are the entities the NCSG represent, or the NCU, the NCSG, who they represent? Banda available? Banda, do you understand who the NCSG represent? Levy, can they hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I was asking, which people does the NCSG represent? You can tell me. Anyone wants to try, so I know you're understanding what we are doing?
The responses in the chat.
Dennis, you want to try? Levy, I didn't hear you. Okay, so for the sake of time, let me repeat it again. The NCSG is a membership organization for those who are internet end users, just like at large. And it also has membership companies as well. So if you have an NGO, strictly NGOs, or if you have a domain registered in your name, or you are a domain registrant, you can join the NCSG family. And under NCSG, we have two constituencies. We have the non-commercial users constituency, and we have end user or as an organization representing your. However, for MPOC, it's strictly for organizations. So if you don't represent an organization, you cannot join. So for this exercise, we'll be joining as an individual. So please click on the individual NCSG membership. Is anyone on that page?
Yes.
So if I can get even at least 2 people who are there, I'll be very fine so that they can teach the rest how to go up. How many people are on this page now? Edward, are you there? Okay with that?
So I have 4
Okay, great. So let's continue. So you enter your name, your first name, your last name, and the city, and you choose the country and your email. If you have your LinkedIn or any of these social media handles handy, please include them. And how did you hear about NCSG? Which one will you choose? Levi, which one should they choose?
You can choose conference, I think.
Okay, so please choose conference. Are you a member of any groups within ICANN? If yes, please state. Levi, what should they put there?
They can put the ISOC chapter, which is AFRALO.
Okay, yes. So you can put AFRALO because once you are a member of ISOC Zambia, you are automatically a member of AFRALO. So please put AFRALO into bracket, probably the ISOC. So please describe in brief paragraph your non-commercial. Note that if the statement will have to contact you for more information, which might delay processing your application. If you want to know more about NCSG and the values it stands for, please refer to. So they've given a link. So basically, you as an internet end user, you have an interest in ensuring that the DNS is kept safe and in your own interest. So you can mention among others, first of all, that you are an internet end user in Zambia and you want to contribute to the policy formulations within ICANN in order to have your voice heard. So you mention it as you want to. So you want to explain to them. So largely, you are part of the end users in Zambia. You want to be part of the policy formulation stages. That is why you want to be there. So you write something which is a bit very convincing, but you must clearly indicate you're an end user. It will be, even if you have a domain registered in your name, it will be interesting for you to add that domain. Then can you provide a current NCSG member as a reference? If so, who? And I've seen Mr. Kosi on the call. Oh, he's no more. Levi, there was Kosi Amevi was on the call. He has dropped off.
Let me just counter check, but there's one who has dropped off, yes.
Okay, so we have 3 names that you should use for this one to provide a reference. If so, who? The 3 names, please, Levi, can you please apply to them?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so the 3 names are Frank Anati, Levi, and Stephen Dechi. So use any of them. Please don't use my name for technical reasons. So use any of the 3 names: Frank, Anati, Dennis, Stephen, and Levi. So please, Levi, please give them the name that they should put. Are you affiliated with a current NCSG member? If so, who? This one, I will advise you add Levi. So at the first one, you can use Frank, you can use Stephen or Levi. But the second one, then at the tick points, please affirm one or more of the following statements. I am an individual who has registered a domain. Please, if you don't have a domain in your name, please don't choose this option. I am an individual internet user who is primarily concerned with the public interest aspect of domain policy, and I'm not represented in ICANN through membership in another supporting organization. I am employed by or a member of a large, but as you are applying as an end user, the second one might be the correct one. But if you are affiliated more with any of the 3, please choose those ones. Then by selecting the boxes below, you affirm the following: I agree to abide by meeting rules and regulations, including charter. So you have to click I agree to advocate a non-commercial public interest. So you choose both. Levi, are they done?
I have one fully done.
Okay, 1 is enough. So we go to next. The form is sensitive. If you've not provided any information, it will alert you, and then you submit. But please be mindful of the storyline, why you want to join. You have to look at that very well. And the 2 names, the reference, and if you're affiliated with anyone. And please remember to put Levi's name for the anyone. And possibly you could also mention you are a member of the ISOC Zambia chapter, and you were introduced to NCSG during your fellowship application. Please do not mention my name in any of these activities for technical reasons. Levi knows the details, but I'm sure he won't want to talk about that. Please, are we done? I'll just rush through the rest so that once you know how to do some of these, you can do the rest. So we have the other constituencies that you can look at. If you are into business, you can join the business. If you are a lawyer, you can join the intellectual property. If you have an ISP, you can join the ISPs. And for information, the ISPs, we don't have people from Ghana who are from Africa who are members of the ISP. So if you have the ISP, provide ISP service in your country, please try and join the ISP. They actually need more members there. Then the registrar and the registries, any of them that I think is of interest to you. We have the universal acceptance. A universal acceptance technically is about making sure our domain names that we use, we can be able to use the non-English characters of these domains in creating various domain names, so that it will not only be the usual English characters. So that is what the universal acceptance is about. And it has a series of working groups based on your English. So if you're a technical person, you can join the technical. At the moment, they're not joining the communication. So you can join either the technical, you can join the email address, or the measurement working. Any of these will do well for you. Because of time, I'll just show the various links as usual are provided for you to join any of them that you want. Then the ISOC Special Interest Group. This is one of the groups that people don't pay attention to. So I want all of you to really join at least one of the special interests. ISOC, unlike the ISOC in your country, the ISOC special interest groups are global. So it has membership from all over the world, and the leadership was also from all over the world. So please join any of the ISOC special interest groups. And this is how you want to join. If you want to join, this is what you have to do. You go to the ISOC portal first. You must join. When you log in, you'll be able to go to the membership area. When you go there, you select the special interest group at the top there. How you say it? So instead of the chapters, you select the special interest groups. Then select only, and you do the search. From there, all the various special interest groups that are available will be there for you. So you see then you click on them to join. So you see join chapter or SIG at the bottom there. So once you click on it, it will enable you to join, and you get an email alert that you have joined the special. Please join POSIA. Then the regional internet registries, you should also join the AFRENIC mailing list. Presently, those of you who might not know, you can just Google AFRENIC, and especially Google the court cases AFRENIC is presently going through, so that you'll be able to learn more about AFRENIC.
Raymond, I don't know if you can hear me. We've lost your screen.
To have the slide, I'll move on to the last day so that you can have some more time to go through the various sections. So the things that I would encourage you to do currently is for you to familiarize the internet governance acronyms. You have plenty. Already we have heard at large, we have heard NCSG, we have heard MPOC, we have heard NCUC. That's the beginning of the acronyms. And also decide on one or two of the constituencies that you want to join. If you want to start with the special interest groups, please, you can start with that one. If you want to start with the dynamic, start with that one. If you want to start with ISOC, you can concentrate there. However, the ICANN, the one that we have subscribed to, the NCUC, is also a very good place to start your learning from. And I will also encourage you to keep learning. For me, I'm aligned to ICANN Learn, and we also have the ISOC Learn. They all have very interesting that keep making you updated. Please don't relax with the working groups, any of the meetings. I will advise you to always be familiar with whatever discussions are ongoing before you jump in. And always leave your presence in any meeting you attend. So any meeting you go, please type in the chat. So for instance, good afternoon from Zambia. My name is Nyambe Jere. So any meeting you attend, please leave your presence in the chat. Always leave your presence in the chat. If the meeting ends and everybody is saying goodbye, also you must also type goodbye in. So leave your presence in the chat in any meeting you attend. This will need for you to identify which meeting you join when you're applying for fellowships. And also enjoy starting your engagement in the ecosystem. There are a lot of things that you hear that will be unfamiliar to you. And in order to make it exciting for ourselves, we decided to call it confusion. So that's how we continue here in any of the meetings. Once you keep engaging, you remember that you've heard it before, and you then understand what really we're talking about. And please keep getting engaged. Start now. Do not wait till tomorrow. Please start your engagement now. If you've not done anything, by tomorrow you start forgetting about all the face-to-face you are doing currently will become useless. So please start now. And one of the most advice that I'll give to you in ISOC, and you may undermine that person, have a fight with that person. You go to ICANN and the person is there. How will you, if that is the person who will take addition on your application to joining of the console? So the ecosystem is very huge. So be very careful and not to undermine anyone. And lastly, please give back to the community. You could have chosen to be sleeping at this time, but he's here to give back to the ecosystem. So your immediate line of action after here is don't procrastinate. Please start your engagement now. The time and tide doesn't wait for anyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raymond, for the presentation and getting us active. I don't know if there are any questions in the room before we let Raymond leave the meeting first. Do we have any questions or comments? Anyone? Yes, I will.
Yes, Raymond, thank you so much for the wonderful lessons and for giving us your time. I can see why Levi is really motivated by you, and yeah, I love your charisma, and I hope to learn more. And if you extend the channel, I would love to get back to you and ask for more guidance and questions. Thank you so much.
All right. Any other questions from the room or comments from the room? Okay. Raymond, thanks. Thank you so much. I'll stop the recording for this session, and then I can share it later in case for our review.
Maybe
right?
you know my session will not end if I don't hear from a lady.
Sorry?
You know my session will not end if I don't hear from a lady.
Oh, I forgot that part. So Raymond wants a lady to make a statement or comment, so he'll not stop till we give a response. So ladies in the room, please help us. Who is up to give feedback to Raymond, at least for us? I can put one on the spot who's been already placed on the spot, right?
Yes, let's put somebody on the spot.
So we have two on the spot so far. So we have Nyama and Nyambe. No, it's fine. I'll pick both of you. Nyambe.
Okay, I've worried Dida enough, so I want the other one to speak.
Okay, so apparently he wants both of you to speak. Nyambe.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So feedback from the session that we've had, it's gotten our brains very active, and I think it was a very good session. It's helped us appreciate the content that we've gone through on the ICANN program as well as ESOC. And I think it's also made us look forward to also wanting to be a part of other internet society groups, like the Ghanaian one that we've seen some pictures of Levi being a part of. So we're looking forward to that and the opportunities that lie ahead. We are very grateful for the session that we've actively participated in. For me and a few others, I will not mention their names, we're a bit behind on the process of signing up, but we are definitely going to do it and see anything else that we can get our hands on. Like you mentioned, that it's better to start now and not wait for a long period of time for us to get fully active in the programs that are available for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you should ask Levi why I insisted the lady should speak. He's my mouthpiece to explain.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Ray. Nyama has been spared.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Ray. Have a great afternoon.
All right. Thank you. Bye.